Hello friends, welcome to the 30th session of Hybris tutorial. In this session, we are going to discuss about the various properties file in Hybris. So guys, in this video, we are going to discuss where we use the properties mentioned in the properties file in Hybris, how we give the properties in the properties file, what are the various types of property files in Hybris, and how we can use or how we can fetch the value of keys or the properties mentioned in our property file in a Java file. So we are going to discuss all these things, all these concepts in this video. Finally, we will be discussing the priorities of various properties file as well. So, guys, either you are working in a development project or you are working in a support project, this video is going to be very informative for you. So guys, before starting anything, let me show you one sample example of properties file. As you can see, we do have multiple properties file. You can see we do have property file with each extension. You can see we do have a property file for training storefront. We do have a property file for adaptive search. So with each extension, we have project.properties file. If I can open this project.property file which is present in training storefront, you can see this is the property file or project.property file attached with training storefront extension. Over here guys, you can see we give the properties like this only. As you can see, this is the key and this is the value, right? So in the Java code, we will be basically using or fetching the value of this key by using this key only. So guys, this is how we give the properties in any property file. As you can see, this is the key and this is the value attached to this property, right? So this is how we mention a property in any property file, right? As you can see, we have multiple property file over here. We do have multiple properties mentioned in this property file. And as I already told, we do have this property file with each extension. You can see we do have a property project.property file attached with each extension, right? Similarly, we do have a local.property file as well, which is present into the config folder, right? As you can see, we do have this local.property file as well. So guys, so we are good to write, like we basically have three main properties files in Hybris to put the configuration values in the form of key value pair, right? So I hope this definition is clear to you. So which all are the properties? So first is the project.property file, project.properties file in platform extension. So guys, this is the first or the core property file present in any hybrid suite. If I can show you, this is my hybrid suite and I can show you like I am in the Hybris, then I am going into bin and then I am going into the folder. Over here guys, you will see that we have a project.property file, right? So this is the core property file and in this property file only we give the core properties of any system. For example, we give the DB URL and everything. As you can see over here in the project.property file of platform extension only, we give the URL. Okay, I am using the SQL DB over here. This is the driver, everything I mentioned over here. So this is the core property file or the first file property file in any Hybris suite. So I can safely write like this. So project.property file in platform extension. Second is the project.properties file in each individual extension as well. Right, as I already showed you, we do have project.properties file attached with every extension as well. As you can see over here as well, we do have project.properties file in each extension as well. And third type of property file is the third type is local.property file. Local.properties file, as you already know, this local.properties file is present into the config folder. So you can see this as the local.property file, right? So I hope this is clear to you. Project.property file can be present in platform folder or it can be present in any extension. And project.property file in platform extension is the core file which contains the basic platform related configuration values, right? So this contains the basic platform related values. For example, what should be the DB URL and everything, right? So it contains basically the platform related configuration values, which include database related properties, filters, XSS filters, everything is present in this file only, right? In the similar way, as I showed, we do have project.property file in each extension as well, right? For example, this is the project.property file associated with the training storefront, right? So this file contains the configuration values specific to this extension only. It means these properties will be used in training storefront extension only, right? So I hope this is clear to you, the difference between the project.property file, I mean these properties mentioned in a specific project.property file of any extension, because these properties will be used only in this extension only. But the project.property file present in platform extension is the core properties, where the we mention the core keys, like what should be the DB URL, what should be the access filter values, everything will be mentioned over here. For example, you can see over here we are mentioning, okay, I have to use these ports for the Tomcat, right? So I have to use, if I have to use the debug options, we need to use these properties. So everything is mentioned over here. So I hope you understand the difference between project.property file present in platform extension, because it contains the core properties which are used by the hybrid system to come up. But the project.property file present in any extension contains the properties which are specific to that extension only, right? I hope this is clear to you. And guys, there is one more concept you must be wondering. If I mention a property, for example, if I mentioned a property like this, Hybris Tube property 1, right? If I mention like this, its value over here, say I mention as value 1, right? If I give the same property in the project.property file of platform extension, as well as project.property file of I mean any particular extension, and as well, for example, if I mention the same I mean key in the training storefront as well, but here I am giving the value as value 2, right? And if I use this key in any of my Java code into the same extension in training storefront extension, which will be I mean preferred by the hybrid system. So the answer is always the project.property file in present into the any extension will get more preference than the property present in project.property file of platform extension, right? So system will be picking the value as value 2 instead of value 1, right? So I hope this is clear to you. So it means I can write if we have a if I have a key, if I have a key, same key present in platform extension project.property file, right? And in project.property file of any specific extension, then value mentioned in project.property file of a particular extension will get more preference, right? In comparison to the project.property file or platform extension. Right, so I hope this is clear to you. Then we have guys local.property file. Now you must be wondering when I have a project.property file in the platform extension and I have a project.property file in in individual extension as well, then what is the use of local.property file? So guys, just remember I just showed you for the sample purpose, like this is the project.property file or platform extension. It is always, as per the Hybris guidelines, we never have to change into the project.property file or platform extension. We are not allowed to do any changes into the, project.property file or platform extension. We cannot do, but if I have to do any changes, which are if I have to add any key or value pair which can be used across the multiple extensions, right? So that key and value pair should be added into the local.property file, right? I am not allowed to add key and value pair in this project.property file or platform extension because this is the core file. We are not allowed to do any changes into the out of box file provided by the Hybris. And if I mention the same key and value pair into this training storefront extension, that key and value pair can be accessible or can be used only in the training storefront extension. That key and value pair will not be cannot be accessible in any other extension. So to do so, we need the local.property file. As I already told, this is the local.property file, and in this local.property file, right, this local.property file, if I mention any key and value present, if I mention any key and value into the local.property file, right, that will be accessible across all extensions, right? So I hope this is clear to you what I am saying, right? Now guys, there is one thing, for example, if we write, let's take one example. Let's take this tomcat dot accept count, right? So now we have very clear understanding. Either we can have a project dot property file of platform extension, or we can have a project dot property file of any particular extension except platform extension, or third one is we can have a local dot property file, right? So if I give this same property in my project.property file over here like this, right? And if I give the value as 120, system will consider this 120 value only. System will not consider this 100 value, right? So it is clear in comparison to project.property file or platform extension, the preference is given to the property mentioned in any project.property file except the platform extension. Now, if I mention the same key and value in my local.property file, over here, and if I give the value as 130, So preference will be given to the property value mentioned into the local.property file. So system will be picking the 130 value, right? So it means I can safely write order of preference of multiple properties file. So preferences, first preference is given to the local.property file, right? First preference is given to local.property file, then project.property file in individual extensions, right? Except platform one, and this gets more priority than project.property file or platform extension, right? So I hope this concept is clear to you. This is very important concept. You would need to use this concept very frequently. And guys, don't worry about this concept, how we are using this, what is the use of these properties. I will be taking a practical example and will show you how we use these properties in our system. So don't worry about that. I will show you the practical example as well for these things, but I just wanted to show you where we can mention the properties and what is the order of priorities, right? For now, guys, I will just remove these properties, and now I will be basically showing you how we can use these properties in our Java code. What is the use of these properties in actual scenarios? So that I am going to show you. So before doing that, I just want to remove these things which we did for our practical purpose. So this was things. So I am just removing this as well. I'm removing this as well. So now, guys, what we will be doing, we will be taking three or four examples. For example, firstly, I am in the I'm in training storefront, right? So over here, guys, so you can see what I will be doing. I am in the cart-based controller, which is also in the training storefront extension, right? So over here, I will be creating two keys. One is say Hybris Tube dot test key one, right? And I will give its value as Hybris Tube value one, right? This is its value. And second one, I will give Hybris Tube dot test key to, right? And I will give it says Hybris Tube value to. So I have mentioned these two properties, right? And so these are the two keys which I have added in my project.property file. And guys, because this is a custom extension, that is why I am allowed to add these properties into the project.property file of training storefront. Now what I will do, I will add these keys in our local.property file as well. What I will do, I will just use this second key. I will not use the first key, and over here I will write Hybris Tube super value 2, right? Now I just wanted to show you if I will be fetching the value of Hybris Tube test key 1, because this key is not mentioned into the local.property file. That is why I will show you that in the Java code this value will be picked one, right? But since over here for this key Hybris Tube dot test key 2. Over here its value is Hybris Tube value 2, but I have overridden its value into local.property file. Over here you can see I am giving its value as Hybris Tube super value 2. I will show you that when I will fetch the value of this key, I will get its value as Hybris Tube super value 2, right? So that thing I am going to show you. I am going to now show you how we can fetch the value of these keys in the Java code. But why we need to mention these keys into our property file? Because guys, we can change these values. Firstly, we can fetch the key and value directly from HSC as well, that I am going to show you in some time. So we can change its value dynamically as well. That I will be showing you how we can change the value of these key values dynamically, right? So what we will do over here, we will just print the value of all the keys. We will printing right like this log dot info. As you can see, I'm just writing log dot info, something like this. And over here, guys, I will be printing its value. For example, I will write like this key one value is something like, right? And over here I will just copy this like this, and then I will just write like this, right? So in this way, guys, I am printing the value of key one, and similarly we will be printing the value of this second property as well, hybris tube dot test key 2. Right, so how we will be printing? So I will just copy this. Firstly, I will just copy this log again, right? And then we will be just doing like this, and this should be the test key 2, right? So this is the test key 2, right? So we will print one more thing. We will write test key 3, and this key 3 is not present either in the project.property file of training storefront extension or in the local.property file as well, right? So this key 3 key is not present over here, right? And if I just write over here like this backup value, right? So this backup value is fetched only when it doesn't get the value from the local.property file. At that time, this value is automatically picked up, right? So this is how you can see we will be checking, okay, which should be the priority one, whether the keys and values mentioned in this property file will be getting more preference, or the properties mentioned in local.property file will get more preference. We will be able to check like this, using these things into the Java code, right? So you can now, I will just give you a practical example. For example, you just integrate a third party payment provider. For example, you integrate PayPal, right? At that time, you have to mention the username and password, right? So those username and password you always give in your local.property file in the form of key and value. Like the key will be PayPal dot username is equal to this, right? So that username you will be using in your Java code as well. So to fetch the username, you will have to do something like this, right? So I hope you understand where we use these keys and values concept practically in real time scenarios, right? Because tomorrow it can be the requirement that you need to change the username, right? So if you mention the username hard coded in Java file, you need to change in the Java file. But if that username will be given into the property file, either in local.property file or in project.property file, you will be able to change the username without bringing server down, directly from the HSC, that I am going to show you that how you will be able to change that, right? So that I am going to show you, but this is how you have to do, right? So I hope this is clear to you. Now what we will do, we have done all these changes for you. Now we will bring our server up again. And guys, since we have done the changes in Java code, that is why we need to do and all. But if you had done some changes only in the property file, we would not need to do and all, right? But since in our case we have done changes in Java file as well, that is why I am going to do and all, right? So what I will do, I will go to the config Hybris bin, then platform. Over here, I will write CMD like this, right? And then I will write set ant environment dot bat, and then I will write and all, and this will start building the project. This will take around 20 minutes to build the projects. Let's wait for the build to get completed, this and all command to get succeeded. Then we will bring our server up. Then I will show you that which value will get more preference, what should be the these values, how, which value will get printed over here, how we can check the values of these keys in HSC as well, and how we can change the values of these keys from HSC directly during the runtime, that I am going to show you now. So let's wait for the build to get completed. So guys, you can see now entall command has been finished successfully. Now I will bring my server up in the debug mode. I will use this command hybris server dot bat debug, right? So once I fire this command, the server will come up in debug mode in some time. So guys, this will take around 15 minutes more to bring my server up. So let's wait for the server to come up, and then we will compare the all properties which we have used in our Java file, right? So currently we are waiting for the server to come up. So guys, now you can see my server is up and running. Now what I will do, I will open the HSC, and then I'm going to show you that these keys which we had added in our system, those are there in HSC as well. We can check the values of these keys in HSC as well. So what I will do, I will quickly open the HSC, and I'm going to open the training storefront as well in parallel, but I will open the HSC as well so that I can show you the values of these two keys, test key 1 and key 2, right? So I'm opening the HSC with credentials, username as admin and password as Nimda. Over here, guys, I will go to the platform, then I will go to the configuration, and once I go into the configuration, I will just copy the keys which we had mentioned. For example, this was the key Hybris Tube dot test key 1, right? And guys, you can see in the local.property file, we had not given the value of test key 1, right? So that is why it is expected that this value should be Hybris Tube value 1, right? If I just try to search with this key, this key, you can see we do have this key and value pair over here, and you can see this its value is Hybris Tube value 1, right? So this is the current value, right? And guys, you can see if we check for this key Hybris Tube test key 2, right, and its value over here is Hybris Tube value 2, but in our local.property file its value is Hybris Tube super value 2. Now let's try to search in HSC what is its value, what is the value of this key Hybris Tube test key 2. If I just paste this key over here, you will see that its value is Hybris Tube super value 2, right? So this is the Hybris Tube super value 2 which is present in local.property file. It means this property mentioned in local.property file has overridden the value present in project.property file, right? So I hope this concept is clear to you, right? So now what we are going to do, I am going to show you that this is how this value is getting fetched. When I will go on the cart page, right, at that time these logs will get printed. So it means this is how we can fetch the values of these keys in our Java code as well, right? Now what I will do, I will go to my storefront, and guys, you can see I have already started my server in debug mode, and I'm just enabling the debug points. And I have already told you like how to start the server in debug mode and how to enable the debug in Eclipse as well. If you still don't know, you can check my video. Link of video is given in the description box and as well as in the top right corner in card section. So you can check that video and can see how you can enable the debug points into the Eclipse, right? So I am in the I'm in training storefront. So this is my training storefront, right? And this is you can see I am already logged in into this training storefront, and you can see my in my cart as well. My cart total is greater than £100, or it means there are some items into my cart. So once I go on to the cart page, once cart page will get loaded, this API will be getting called. This show cart API will be getting called, right? So let's wait for this launch to get completed. Currently it is 25%. Let's wait for this to get completed. So guys, my debug points are now enabled. You can see now what I will do, I will just click on this icon, right? And then once this icon will appear up, then I will go on to the cart page. So as you can see, this pop-up has been appeared. So I will just simply click over the checkout page. And once I click over here, guys, you will see that we will come over this show cart API. As you can see, we are over here, show cart API, right? So this first is the key one value, right? Let's see how it is getting printed into the into our logs. So guys, you can see in our logs, the value is Hybris Tube value 1, right? So it means Hybris is fetching the correct value of Hybris Tube dot test key 1, because we mentioned the same value in our project dot property file of training storefront, right? Hybris Tube value 1. So guys, I hope now you understand how you can fetch the value of any key into any Java file, right? Similarly, this is the key to value. We by mistake we write like this, but this should be key 2, this should be key 3. But anyway, we understand what we are doing, right? So I will just click on the next, and then you will see that there will be another log. There will be another log over here. So I will just click over here, and then you will see in our server we do have Hybris Tube super value 2, right, which is present in local.property file. This value has fetched, right? So it means we are able to correctly fetch the values. But this Hybris Tube dot test key 3 value, this is not present, right? We didn't create either in project.property file, or we didn't create in our local.property file as well. So let's see what value will get printed for this Hybris Tube dot test key 3, right? So if I click like this, you will see that in the logs, you will see we have a value, backup value, right? So it means this value has been printed, right? Why it has been printed? Because we don't have any key value pair into our properties file, right? So I hope now you understand what we were doing, right? So I will just ignore the rest of functionality because that is not of use for this video. So I will just skip this section. But I hope guys now you understand what these keys and value means how we can use these keys and values which we declare in our property file on in local.property file, how we can use these in Java file, and why it is must to mention or specify some keys and values into property file, why we don't directly hard code these these properties into Java file, right? Because there can be chances that we may need to change its value later on. Right now, what I am going to do, I am going to change the value of any property file. For example, currently Hybris Tube dot test key one. For this, you can see over here, I am in value is Hybris Tube value one, right? What I will do, I will change its value directly from the HAC, right? So this is how we can change the value of any key directly from HAC as well. So you can see I am opening the HAC and I will open the hybris tube dot test key one, and its value is currently hybris tube test value one, right? So I will write like this hybris tube direct change value one, right? I am changing its value basically. So I will just click over this icon. You can see I have clicked over this icon, right? Now what I am going to do, I am going to load my cart page again. So what I will do, I will just click on this icon again, right? And then I will click on the checkout. And once I click on the checkout, I will go on to the cart page again. You can see now I am over here again, and as you can see we had changed its value from the HSC, right? We changed its value as hybrid tube direct change value 1. Now let's see what value it will fetch now. So if I can just move forward, you will see that over here now the updated value is getting printed, right? You can see hybrid tube direct change value 1, right? So I hope this is clear to you how we can change the value of any key and value at runtime. But guys, if you are in actual production system, if you are working in actual production system in actual cluster environment where there are multiple nodes, or if you are working in some cloud infrastructure, your application is hosted in some cloud infrastructure where there are multiple pods, right? In those cluster environment, then you have to change its value over each pod, right? You have to open the HAC in each pod, right? And then only, or in or on each node, right? Then only these values will get reflected, right? So I hope it is clear to you. When you are not working in any cluster environment, then if you directly change the HSC value from here, it is getting reflected like I showed you, right? This is getting reflected. But if you are working in a cluster environment, at that time you have to open the HAC on each individual node or each individual pod, and then there you have to change these values. Only then your system will behave correctly, right? So I hope this is clear to you, right? Now what we will do, I will just skip this portion and I can show you one more scenario as well. I will just skip this portion and then I will just open the storefront again so that I can show you more things. So what I will do, as you can see for this key 3, currently we don't have any key and value pair. That is why it was picking the backup value, right? Now we can add a key and value pair directly from HCC as well. How we can add a new key and value, we can add like this. You can see I am adding a key hybris tube key 3, and I will write like this hybris tube direct key 3, key direct value 3, right? I am giving its value as this, and I am clicking on the add button. Once I click on the add, right, I am just doing this, and then I will just write apply all. I will click over here apply all, Right, then what I will do, I will go on the cart page again. I will enable the debug points again, and then we will see what is the value of this third key, right? So what we will do, I will go on to the cart page again, and then we will check what is the value of key 3, right? So you can see now the key 3 value is, you can see key 3 value has also getting updated, right? It is Hybris Tube direct value 3, which we gave in the HAC directly, right? Key 3 value is this one, right? So this is the value, but in our, you can see in our I mean local.property file we didn't give any value, but in our Java code we had given a backup value which is not showing now, right? So I hope this is clear to you. This is very important concept, right? But in case you deploy the system again, or you bring your server up again, this type of change will get overridden again, right? Again, hybris tube dot test key 3, this value will will be removed automatically once you restart your server. That is why it is always recommended to maintain your changes or maintain your keys and values in your property file, right? If you directly add a key and value from here, that will not save into DB. In case you restart the server, that key and value pair will get removed automatically. That is why we need to save these keys and values in our property file, either in local.property file or in project.property file, depending on your requirement, right? So guys, I hope this concept is clear to you. And guys, this was all about the property files, what all type of property files we do have, what are project property files, what are local property files, how we can mention keys and values in properties file, how we can fetch those keys and corresponding values in our Java code, and what is the priority of those files. I have discussed everything in this video. And guys, I will be sharing these notes as well. I will be uploading these notes into the Google Drive, and will share the link of these notes into the comment section of this video, so you can download the notes by just clicking on the link that I am going to give you in the comment section. So guys, I hope this video is informative for you, and guys, in case you like this video, do share this with your friends. Thank you for watching. Bye.